Hello everyone, welcome back to STW Sports, and today I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. Today I'm going to be reviewing both the EFL weekend and the FA Cup weekend. As it was FA Cup third round weekend, there was a hell of a lot of games. I'm going to go all the way from January the 8th, which was on Friday, till January the 12th, which was yesterday, because a few teams in Championship League 1 and 2 did play their games in hand that they've been cancelled due to COVID or the weather or whatever. But yeah, I'm going to start with Friday in League 1. I'm going to do the EFL first, then I'm going to do the FA Cup after. On Friday in League 1, Charlton Athletic 0, Accrington Stanley 2. Very big win this for Accrington, moves them into the playoffs. They're having a good season, Accrington Stanley. They've had so many games postponed. I mean, they're about 4 or 5 games behind teams at one point, but they've caught up now. And yeah, well, no, they're not caught up just yet, but they're getting there now. They're playing more games, and they pick up a 2-0 win away at Charlton. A good result. Lee Bowyer's Charlton have lost a little bit of form recently, it must be said. They're certainly not doing great. But yeah, a 2-0 win for Accrington. A very good result for them, and yeah, fair play to them. Moving on to Saturday the 9th of January in League 1. The first game was Lincoln City 1, Peterborough United 1. And to be honest with you, this is probably a better point for Lincoln on the day. I mean, yeah, Lincoln are top of the table and they'll want to win these sort of games, but they did have players missing due to COVID, so, you know, I think overall they'd probably take a point against a Peterborough team, again, who haven't played much for a while. I think this is their first game in about 3 weeks, so there's so many postponements right now. It's like a mini pre-season with no games for some teams, but yeah, a 1-1 draw, and yeah, I mean, it's probably a better result for Lincoln. It keeps them at the top of the table quite comfortably as well, so they're having an amazing season right now, and a draw's not the best result, but it's not too bad either. And also, Rochdale 3, Crewe Alexandra 3, and Crewe 3 away, a 3-0 lead in this game, so really, Crewe should have won it. I mean, 3-0 up, cruising against a Rochdale team who are way further down in the table than them, and they let it go to a 3-3 draw. And to be fair to Rochdale, they are the entertainers in the league right now, and I'll touch on that a little bit more later because they also played another game yesterday. But my word, a 3-3 draw, it was a fair result, and fair play to Rochdale for a great comeback as well. But as for Crewe, really disappointing they dropped points, but Crewe is still having a very good season. Gillingham 0, Burton Albion 1. Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank is back at Burton Albion, and he's back doing his wonders. He got them a 1-0 victory over Gillingham. I always describe Gillingham as the League 1 inconsistent club, and that has not changed here. Bottom of the table, Burton Albion, who hadn't won it's the first away win of the season as well, this for Burton Albion, by the way. That's worth noting. They hadn't won for it was a good while, I'd say, and they went and won 1-0 at Gillingham. Disappointing result for Gillingham, who are, of course, languishing in mid-table as always. But Burton, though, it's a big result for them. They've still got a way to come back yet because they are rock bottom, but they're getting there, though, ever so slowly. Ipswich Town 2, Swindon Town 3. What a result for Swindon Town this was. I mean, no Swindon Town fan, I'm convinced, saw this coming. I mean, literally, they're going away to an Ipswich Town team. Yeah, Ipswich haven't been on great form recently. We all know that. They're not doing great under Paul Lambert. They've had a lot of postponements due to COVID as well. Swindon, though, have been poor for a while. It hasn't really clicked for them yet under John Sheridan. And they come out with this 3-2 win away at Ipswich. And Scott Twine scored one of the goals of the season, the second goal of the game. Go and check it out. A brilliant long-range strike. But yeah, a 3-2 win for Swindon. A good result for them. But as for Ipswich, a really poor result, and one that could cost them a bit later on in the season, I think. But what a result for Swindon, and John Sheridan must be over the moon with that. And the final game of League 1 was Saturday evening. It was Sunderland 1, Hull City 1. A good result, not for both teams in a way. I mean, it was important both teams didn't lose this game, I think. But as for Sunderland, they need to start picking up wins at the moment. I mean, I just don't know what's going on right now with Sunderland. I really thought when they went down to League 1 they'd walk it and come back up, but that hasn't been the case. And yeah, a 1-1 draw here with Hull City. It was a pretty good game of football, though, to be fair. I will say that. It was quite an entertaining game for a League 1. And these two were Premier League clubs as recently as May 2017, so kind of says it, really. But yeah, a 1-1 draw. It was fair. Moving on now to Saturday's games in League 2. First one, Southend United 1, Barrow 0. What a result this was for Southend United. Yeah, I mean, absolutely vital. Southend are really starting to make their home ground a fortress all of a sudden. It's like you'd think they've got fans there or something because it's their 4th home win in a row. And Barrow, you know, they are struggling. I predicted Barrow would finish bottom at the start of the season. I'm not afraid to say that, but they've sacked David Dunn and they're doing okay, but nothing special. A 1-0 defeat here in Southend. They really need. Southend are climbing the table now and they're in a good chance of survival. Really, Southend probably shouldn't be down there anyway. I don't know what's happened to them since the start of the season, but hey, I do think they will stay up. Cambridge United 2, Harrogate Town 1. Big result for Cambridge this. I mean, again, Harrogate, they haven't been in good form for a while now. They had a good start to the season. That was their honeymoon period, but they've gotten over that now, though, really, and they are struggling. They're dragged into a relegation battle right now. I don't think they'll go down, though. I do think they'll be okay, but this game was, yeah, a good win for Cambridge. They come from 1-0 down to win it as well. And yeah, it was a big win. It was one of them games where they had to pull through in the end, and they did. They come from behind, and they've been on a rocky run of form, Cambridge, but they've turned it round as well, to be fair to them. And finally, Port Vale 3, Grimsby Town 0. This was terrible from Grimsby Town. I mean, one of the worst performances they've probably put in for a bit little while. It was terrible. 3-0 Port Vale. They were very good. Fair play to them. It's a win they probably needed as well. Right, moving on to the midweek games in EFL now. And of course, and we can do the FA Cup after, but starting with the Championship, Tuesday the 12th of January, Bournemouth 1, Millwall 1. This feels like two massive points dropped for Bournemouth. I mean, it's just one of them games. Millwall at home, a Millwall team who've been in pretty miserable form, let's be honest. They've not been good for a while now. And, you know, you have to give credit to Millwall, though, here. They stuck in there and they got a 1-1 draw at Bournemouth. I mean, Bournemouth are doing well. I still think they'll be right up there at the end of the season, but it's one of them results that could cost them at the moment, and Norwich City fans would have loved this result as well. Next up, Luton Town 0, QPR 2. And Charlie Austin is back at QPR, and he's back with a goal. Charlie Austin, he's not the same player now, there's no doubt about that. He's probably not Premier League quality anymore, but people forget he's scored 18 goals for QPR in the Premier League just 6 years ago. He's not a bad striker for the Championship, and he's done it again here, a 2-0 win against Luton. And Luton team are having a good season as well. Luton were in great form at home as well. It's their first home loss since Halloween, so they're in very good form. In the end, though, it's their first win in 9 matches at QPR. They desperately needed it. Fair play to them. And yeah, they'll be hoping they can climb the table and not be dragged into a relegation battle. They've definitely missed Eze this season, but still, I still think they've got enough players to survive. Moving on to League One's midweek games, and there was only one, but my God, what a game. Charlton Athletic 4, Rochdale 4. Absolutely amazing game. I mean, there's not really, it was Rochdale are so entertaining right now. They are the Leeds United of League One at the moment, where you do not know what you're going to get. Some weeks they get hammered, other weeks they hammered other teams, and they produce games like this where it's end-to-end, and it was an absolute thriller. All 4 of Rochdale's goals were in the first half, might I add, as well. What a game. I mean, again, it's more points dropped though for Charlton against a team quite low in the table. Charlton just can't seem to beat the teams down at the bottom of the table. They seem to do okay against teams up there, but when it comes to playing teams in the bottom few, they always struggle. Yeah, they come back from 4-2 down here to get a 4-4 draw. Good resilience shown by Bowyer's men. He'll be happy with that, but to lose the game, to draw the game 4-4 though, it was a fantastic. Rochdale have now scored 13 goals in their last 4 games. They're so entertaining right now. And yeah, fair play to them, but a good result in the end. And obviously, I'm not going to go over Game of the Week because there's been too many. A Game of the Week would certainly be Charlton 4, Rochdale 4, just edging out Rochdale 3, Crewe 3. So, Rochdale have certainly got Game of the Week. And result of the week, I'm still going to go Ipswich Swindon 3-2, regardless. And top scorers are still the same. I know I said I wasn't going to do it, but I thought I'd go over it really quickly. And now moving on to League Two's midweek games, where we had Scunthorpe United 0, Salford City 1. In what was a big result for Salford. So big, they've actually now gone to 5th in the table. So, at the start of the season, when I predicted Salford to finish 2nd, a lot of people were laughing. And, well, I'm not going to say serious laughing now, they're 5th, they're not near the top, but still, they're doing well at the moment. Of course, they've got another manager in and everything like that earlier on in the season. It was weird when they sacked their first manager. But they got a late win. It was an 89th minute goal. So, yeah, these are the sorts of win. If you're going to get promoted, you need. I think Salford could be in League One next season. I really do have that belief. They're doing so well at the moment. And, yeah, it was a really good result here. A 1-0 win away at Scunthorpe. Scunthorpe, who are right now, are dragged into a relegation battle and kind of need to sort it out a little bit. It's not going great. And finally, Exeter City 1, Bolton Wanderers 1. very good point for Bolton, I'd probably say. I mean, don't get me wrong, I don't think Exeter are doing amazing. They certainly, again, they were entertaining a few weeks ago, but that's died off now. A 1-1 draw, it's a fair result. I mean, Bolton it was a fair draw in the end. They pulled a goal back. Exeter took the lead with their own goal and Bolton equalised. I think the draw was fair. Bolton are 16th currently. I don't think Bolton are going to go up this season. A lot of people said at the start of the season they would, but let's be honest, it's a transition season for Bolton. They've got to get used to all this, and they are struggling right now, but I do think they'll be fine for safety. I think a mid-table finish is probably what we're going to expect. As for Exeter, again, they're a very unpredictable team, so who knows? And yeah, there's not really a lot to say. Game of the week was tough in League 2, because there was barely any good games, really. So I've said Cambridge 2, Harrogate 1, even though that was far from a classic. Result of the week, I'm still going to stick with my Southend 1, Barrow 0, because Southend needed that more than anything, and it's another home win, and it pulls them further up the table. They're starting to find their feet, and the top scorer is still Paul Mullin with 18 goals. So again, not really surprising. And now we move on to the FA Cup. I'm going to go over this as quickly as I can. I don't have time to do all the game, have a speech on all the games, but we started on Friday. Aston Villa 1, Liverpool 4. It was Aston Villa's kids 1, Liverpool 4. I mean, very similar to the Carling Cup, the League Cup tie they had in December 2019 when Liverpool had to field their kids because Villa, it's because they were playing the Club World Cup out in wherever it was. But yeah, I mean, obviously Liverpool fielded a surprisingly strong team. Klopp never takes the FA Cup seriously, so for him to put out the team he did was surprising. Liverpool won 4-1. To be fair to Villa, they made a good fight of it, especially first half. They went 1-1 at half-time. In the end, Liverpool inevitably had far too much and won the game 4-1. Wolves won, Crystal Palace 0, an all-Premier League affair, and a 1-0 win for Wolves. And Adama Traore scored his first goal since December 2019, so he's been long overdue a goal. But no, fair play to Wolves. A 1-0 win, they're in the next round. They're struggling in the Premier League, but they're not, but they're doing... A cup competition will be very handy for Wolves. Everton 2, Rotherham 1 after extra time. Everton made much harder work of this than they should have. They should have beat Rotherham comfortably. They never. Rotherham played very well, to be fair to them. A struggling championship team. They're relegation zone of the championship. They played brilliantly, but in the end they lost 2-1. Everton had a little bit too much quality. Boreham Wood 0, Millwall 2. Yep, no fairy tale story there. Boreham Wood could have got, that would have been a great result for them down in the conference, but no, Millwall, the champion team, too much quality, and a 2-0 win. Luton Town 1, Reading 0. An all-championship affair. Reading's priority is promotion right now. I don't really think they'll be too gutted, but yeah, Luton win 1-0. Good result for them. Nottingham Forest 1, Cardiff City 0. A result that kind of surprised me. I thought Forest probably wouldn't care, bearing in mind they're currently in a relegation battle in the championship, but they are also starting to pull away from that. 1-0 win over Cardiff. All-championship affair. Fair enough. Norwich City 2, Coventry City 0. Norwich actually drew with Coventry in the league in the end of November, so to get a bit, so not really revenge, but a 2-0 win was probably fair. I mean, it was a fair result. It was comfortable for Norwich. They scored 2 of their goals in 7 minutes, so easy enough. Chorley 2, Derby County 0. One of the best stories of the weekend. Chorley playing the National League North, the league I commentate on, so it's amazing for them. Okay, it was a very weak Derby team, but Derby's reserves probably should still have enough, in my opinion, to give Chorley a better game than what they did. It was terrible from Derby. I mean, they didn't look interested. Then again, their priority is survival right now, but a 2-0 win for Chorley. What a story. They're into the next round, and I'll explain who they're playing in a moment. Blackburn Rovers 0, Doncaster Rovers 1. Bit of an upset there, bearing in mind Blackburn are a championship team and Doncaster are League 1, but Doncaster are a good League 1 team. They're up there in the playoffs at the moment, so it's not a major upset, but yeah, fair play to Doncaster. Another round in for them. Moving on, Blackpool 2, West Brom 2. Blackpool win 3-2 on penalties, and Premier League West Brom are out of the League Cup. I mean, I'm not going to lie, it's FA Cup, sorry. I'm not going to lie, it's kind of funny in a way, really. I mean, it's not working out for them under Sam Allardyce right now, but with all due respect to West Brom, they deserve everything they get for sacking Slavan Bilic and replacing him with Sam Allardyce. 2-2 draw, League 1 Blackpool have knocked out West Brom. Fair play. 10 years ago, this is a Premier League game, by the way, believe it or not. But yeah, 3-2 on penalties it was. Wycombe Wanderers 4, Preston North End 1. And Preston North End fans will not be happy with this. I mean, yes, their priority is probably promotion, but a mid-table championship club, and they were thrashed by bottom of the league in Championship Wycombe 4-1. What a win, though, for Wycombe, to be fair. This could give them confidence going forward as well. QPR 0, Fulham 2 after extra time. Good result for Fulham. Yeah, they deserved it in the end. They just about did enough, but they were pushed all the way till extra time. Burnley 1, MK Dons 1. Burnley win 4-3 on penalties. Good result for Burnley in the end, I guess. I mean, it was Vidra who scored a 94th minute equaliser, and Cameron Jerome scored for MK Dons the first goal. Can you believe it? But yeah, a 1-1 and Burnley go through on penalties. Burnley never do much in the cup competitions. With their squad, I'm not surprised. They barely have a squad, so they can't really rotate. But yeah, it was a 1-1 draw, and they edged it on penalties. But League One opposition, struggling League One opposition, giving Burnley a good game, wasn't really the best. Bristol Rovers 2, Sheffield United 3, and Sheffield United finally won a game, but they also did yesterday, so it's all good. Yeah, a 3-2 win for Sheffield United. Yeah, good result, obviously. Chris Wilder's 50, I think it's 100th win in charge of Sheffield United, I think, but they've had that on draft since September, so yeah, that's a long time come. But fair enough, he got the win, though. I really like Chris Wilder. I'm glad they've kept up with him. 3-2 win there. Bournemouth 4, Oldham Athletic 1. Yeah, championship, championship promotion chasing Bournemouth had way too much for mid-table League 2 Oldham. It's not really surprised, but an easy 4-1 win for them. Stoke City 0, Leicester City 4. I actually did a report on this game, and Stoke did not play that badly. I mean, don't be fooled by the result. Leicester just had far too much quality, and they scored some very good goals as well. Stoke are a good team under Michael O'Neill. He's done such a good job there since taking over. They were bottom of the league when he did. But no, to be fair to Leicester, they were just brilliant. And Leicester, I criticised their squad depth a lot at the start of the season, and, they've done well. I mean, they've actually done, to be fair, this season, all their squad players have done really well. So that's kind of proven me wrong, and fair play to Brendan Rodgers for the way he's used it. Exeter City 0, Sheffield Wednesday 2. I actually thought Exeter City were going to win this game. I mean, they're actually a good League 2 team. They're currently 10th in League 2. It's not exactly amazing, but they're actually an entertaining team. So I thought they could beat Sheffield Wednesday. But no, they had too much. It was a 2-0 win. Sheffield Wednesday have recently picked up form as well. Arsenal 2, Newcastle 0 after extra time. I mean, this game was on BBC, and if you watched the game, you'd know it wasn't a great game of football. It was a little bit of a dull fest, which probably shouldn't have gone to extra time, meaning Newcastle should have won it in the last minute. Andy Carroll had a chance, but to be fair to Bernd Leno, he made an excellent save. And yeah, 2-0 to Arsenal in the end, and Emile Smith originally got sent off, and then the decision got overturned. But fair play, 2-0 win. Brentford 2, Middlesbrough 1. An all-championship affair, and Brentford just had a bit too much for their opponents in the end. Again, both these teams are currently pushing for promotion. They've got other priorities, but a 2-1 win nonetheless. Huddersfield Town 2, Plymouth Argyle 3. This one was an upset. Championship Huddersfield losing to mid-table League 1 Plymouth. So two mid-table teams in their respective leagues, roughly. And Plymouth Argyle came out of a 3-2 win. Great result for Plymouth, I guess, and they've claimed a bit of a scalp there, so fair play. Manchester United 1, Watford 0. This wasn't a great game, really. It was a typical third-round tie, really, that just didn't really do a lot. I mean, United had a job to do. They won the game, but Watford, they've got promotion on their mind. Even though they've already sacked another manager this season, they've got promotion on their mind right now. They're in the playoffs as well. But as for United, it's a good enough win, but the game certainly wasn't anything entertaining. But hey, United still won. Moving on to the Sunday, the January the 10th, Crawley Town 3, Leeds United 0. Wow. I mean, League 2 Crawley, mid-table to promotion candidates League 2 Crawley, beating Leeds United 3-0. I mean, when we all say Leeds, they're unpredictable and everything, I didn't think they'd be unpredictable to the point they'd lose to a League 2 team 3-0. I mean, just to make it worse as well, they also brought on that guy off Towie in the 90th minute. Mark Wright, yeah, that's it, in the 90th minute. So, yeah, kind of sums it up, really. But no, fair play to Crawley. As for Leeds, disappointing defeat, really. Leeds, for me, should have targeted a cup competition this year. I don't think they're getting relegated. So, yeah, maybe they should have targeted a bit more. Bristol City 2, Portsmouth 1. Again, Championship v League 1. I mean, Portsmouth did give Bristol a good game. Bristol City are a good Championship team. They were in the playoffs. They've kind of faded off it now, in typical Bristol City fashion. But no, fair play to Bristol. They just about got over the line in the end. Cheltenham Town 2, Mansfield Town 1. This was an all League 2 affair, and yeah, a 2-1 win for Cheltenham, a good result for them, but they're way further ahead than Mansfield in League 2, so pretty much a result you'd probably have expected. So, but no, fair play to them, and they've also drawn Man City in the next round, so fair play to them. Chelsea 4, Morecambe 0. I mean, Kai Havertz and Timo Werner got on the score sheet. Yeah, it's against a League Two team, but still, they're on the score sheet. And, Morecambe are doing far better this season than I thought they would. So, fair play to Morecambe. They're having a pretty good season. But, no, they would never expect to win here. And they would beat 4-0. Manchester City 3, Birmingham City 0. Man City always make easy work of these games. But to be fair to Pep Guardiola, he always fields a strong team. I've got to give him that. Yeah, 3-0, all the goals in the first half. This was an easy win. And, yeah, Birmingham, relegation candidates in the Championship. Probably got bigger things on their mind and weren't really expected to win the game. Barnsley 2, Tranmere Rovers 0. Yep, Championship v League 2 opposition. Barnsley just about did enough in the end. I mean, 2-0 win. It was a fair result. Barnsley have done superb. The new manager that's come in deserves a hell of a lot of credit, so fair enough to him. 2-0 win, good result. And the talking point of the weekend, really, Marine 0, Tottenham Hotspur 5. Wow. Obviously, Tottenham Hotspur was going to win this game in a lot of people's minds against 8th tier Marine, but when Gareth Bale comes on the pitch, it must have been amazing for Marine fans to see. It's almost as if Jose Mourinho put him on purpose just for them to see. Yeah, 5-0 win. Great result for, I'll say great result. A win for Spurs, not a great result. They should be beating Marine. But, yeah, fair play, though. 5-0, and, yeah. One Marine player did hit the crossbar with a shot early on. A guy who was nearly a plumber. What a strike. A part-time plumber here, sorry. What a strike it was. So unlucky. But, yeah, fair play to the guy. And great. It must have been an honour for every Marine player to be out there against Tottenham. So, fair play. Great FA Cup story and credit to them. Newport County 1, Brighton and Hove Albion 1. Brighton win 4-3 on penalties. They got there in the end. That's all you can say about this. I mean, Newport are a high-flying League 2 team. Let's not take that away from them. But Brighton are a Premier League team. They should have won this easier. They got over the line in the end. And it was a good penalty shootout as well. But Brighton just about did enough. And the Brighton keeper made a howler for Newport's equaliser as well. And last but not least, Stockport County 0, West Ham United 1. Conference versus Premier League, mid-table Premier League for that matter, and West Ham made a bit hard work of it, but they got a 1-0 win. In my opinion, West Ham need to target these cup competitions because they're a club who could do with some silverware, so why not target the competition and see how it goes? What's the worst that can happen? A 1-0 win for them, a good result. Now we're moving on to the best ties of round 4. So first off, Chorley take on Wolverhampton Wanderers. What a story for Chorley. I'm not sure what team Nuno's going to put out. He should put out a strong team because Wolves need to. If Wolves got a great chance of getting into round 5, I think they should target it. So yeah, personally, put out a strong team if I was Wolves. And Manchester United will take on Liverpool. They play each other this Sunday in what's probably the most exciting game for a long time between the two. And now, it's going to be very, very good. There's no doubt about that. And now they're playing from the FA Cup a week after. So, yeah, just a bit better. When the two teams are on top for the first time ever, near enough. But, yeah, great stuff. And, yeah, that is a wrap on my FA Cup and EFL predictions. And I am now really tired after doing that. I've got a really dry throat. But, yeah, great stuff in the end. And an entertaining weekend, I guess you can say. But, yeah. I'll be back soon with more content. I'm not going to do a Premier League Team of the Week off 3 games that were on yesterday, or 5 there's going to be. But, I think it's probably not convenient to do a Team of the Week off that. I mean, I'll see. But, we'll see. Actually, no, there's one Thursday as well. There might be enough games, actually. There might be enough for me to do on Friday. I will be back about that. But, fair play, though, to every team who went through in the FA Cup and every team who's doing well in Championship League 1 and 2. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. Please like, share, subscribe. I appreciate this video has been long, so thank you for sticking to the end if you have. And yes, thank you very much for listening, and I'll see you soon. Thank you.